basically see Visual Force pages. So basically this is for the front end design, correct? So these are the actually Visual Force pages are actually a component based, or it is a tag based framework. Okay, so we are using a tag. Okay, compiler will in runtime, so compiler will convert that tag into a
Suresh,
HTML
have you
page.
started recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the compiler, so what it will do is nothing but it is a tagged language, right? So it is basically it will hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it will convert our tagged language into HTML.
Okay.
Okay, so it is basically it will convert our tags into a HTML. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if you open any VF page, let's say the so if you open any VF page, so at the end, so that VF page becomes a HTML. Okay,
Okay.
so that is the one important thing. Okay, so we'll discuss what are the component things one by one. So initially we'll talk about how to create a VF page. Correct?
Okay.
So we know how to create a page, so we have to click on setup. Okay, so navigate to develop. Okay, so click on Visual Force pages. Okay, so click on this Visual Force pages. Okay, so now as we saw, so these are how to create a web pages. Just click on that. So give some name. So give some name. Okay, so this is the default page. Like, so the parent tag of the VA page is nothing but apex colon page, correct? So close with the same tag. Okay, backslash apex page. So these are nothing but a parent tag. What it all other components? Basically, we will call it as a component. Okay, for each tag, so we will call it as a component.
Okay.
Okay, so what are all tags we are using for building the screen or UI? So basically it should be within this particular tag page, and close with that particular same tag. Okay, what are all tags should be a child of this particular page tag.
Okay.
So okay, so this is one thing, important thing. The second thing is nothing but how to bind a data between Visual Force and particular business logic. Okay, so before moving that, so let's discuss about MEC framework. Okay,
Yeah.
so this particular VF page, so this acts as a it is basically MEC. It follows actually a MEC design pattern. Okay, MEC design pattern. So basically MVC, so in V is nothing but basically view. Okay, pages. So pages are come under view model. Okay, so models are nothing but database tables, or it may be our S objects, correct? So S object is either it may be standard object or it may be a custom object. Okay, so these are basically S objects, right? So these are basically model. Model is nothing but where we are storing the data. So that is nothing but a model. Okay, so that is nothing but a model. Okay, so controllers are nothing but, so there is a two type of controller. Okay, so basically we'll call it as a two type of controller. In Apex there will be a three type of controllers. Okay, so one is nothing but a standard controller. Okay, standard controller means what the controller we are using in creating account. Let's say I will click on account. Okay, I will click on new button. So if you observe here, once you click on new button, so basically it will render a some new page, right? Correct? So it will render a some new page, correct? So how these pages are populated, or once I click on save button, so basically, so let's say if I click on save button, so it is basically rendering into a detailed page of this creation page, right? Correct? So how these business logics are internally handled? So there is second thing. So these logics basically handled it in the standard controller. Okay, so these logics are handled it in the standard controller. Okay, so but if you see here, so the standard controllers are these are controllers, but okay, so these are the inbuilt controllers, so which will be not visible for the end user or developers also. Okay, so it will run under server side. We can't able to see their code also, and also we can't able to modify their business logic also. Okay, so these controllers basically we will call it as a standard controllers.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is nothing but a custom controller. So let's say I want to achieve something else rather than our standard functionality, right? So sometimes we want to achieve something else. Let's say I want to like call a web service to SAP database whenever we create an account. These are nothing but a custom logic, correct?
Yes.
So they haven't give any implementation for that. In that case, how to achieve that? So for that, basically we can do it by using a custom
Custom
controllers.
control.
Okay.
Okay.
So custom controls are nothing. It is a simple class. Okay, simple class, but we have to map it in the Visual Force pages, and we have to tell the page like, so this is the controller, so we have to invoke that controller. So we have to bind that page to a controller.
Okay.
So and third controller is nothing but basically we will call it as extension. Okay, so basically we will call it as extensions. Okay, let's say so there is already some standard controller is there. Okay, so we want to add some additional business logic to that particular standard functionality. Okay, in that case, so basically we have to go for extensions.
Okay.
Basically we have to go for extensions. We'll discuss that one, extensions later on in the show. So now we look into a standard controller and custom controller. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is nothing but a MEC pattern. Okay, so what it will happen, how these pages will be rendered, what and all things we coded in a, that VIA page, Visual Force page. Basically it will store it in the server side, right? Because it's a cloud application, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So whenever like end user request for that particular page, so basically that page is rendered, okay, according to business logic, and it will be visible to a client, correct? So this is how the action will flow. If you see here, client is requesting for some page. Okay, so that particular page will be populated or rendered by using some set of business logic. Like let's say once you click on that page, you have to load the account details and all. So in that case, it has to query from the database. It has to populate and
Yes.
filter the data, right? So like that. So whenever end user requests for a particular page, in that case the page will be rendered and displayed to a end user. So now we will discuss about this particular example. Okay, introducing Visual Force and privacy model. Okay, this particular example. Okay, so standard controller. Okay, standard controller is a attribute. Okay, so if you go to any one of the Visual Force page, if you click on any page, so here we are able to see. If you click on it, so you can put some component reference, right? Component reference. Right? Can you see this button? Component
Yes.
reference. Okay.
Yes.
So click on that button. Right? So it is going to give all the supported component is nothing but tags, right? Tags. Okay, so now let's search for a page tag. Okay, if you see here, there is a page tag, right? Okay, so click on that page tag. If you see here, they are giving a attribute name, correct? Attribute names are nothing but this is a tag. So these are nothing but a supported parameters we are passing to this particular tag.
So whatever attribute you use this tag, it will be listed under this.
No, yeah, it is a part of this particular tag.
Okay.
This is a part of this particular tag.
Okay.
This is a tag. These are nothing but attributes. Let's say while creating an account, how we are adding the field names like name, account number, site, and all. That
Yes,
are
yes.
the fields, right? The same. If you want to perform some actions by using this particular tag, basically some of the parameters are required. These are basically we can call it as a parameters.
Okay.
So in our case, so if you see this particular example, they mentioned as a standard controller, correct? So what is nothing but a standard controller? If you see here, there is a standard controller, right? Okay. The name of the Salesforce object that is used to control the behavior of this particular page. Okay, so this is nothing but a class, okay, which will control this particular page. Control means, let's say if you want to save some record or if you want to edit some record, if you want to delete some record, where this business logic is written. So that is nothing but a controller, right?
Yes.
Correct? So we have to tell this page about the which controller you have to refer. That one basically we can do it by using standard controller is equal to account. Okay. So whenever you are referring for a standard controller, either is the account, contact, or custom object. So the API name is nothing but a standard controller name.
Okay.
Okay, standard controller name. Okay, so if you see this one, when this particular page is rendered, it will looks like this. Okay, it will looks like this. Okay, so let me run that particular page. Okay, so I will explain you one by one.
Basically, if you are passing a standard controller, it fetches all the functionality of that standard controller into your custom page.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay, I have copied the same code into this particular page. Okay. So what this page will does is nothing but, so there is some input field. Okay, so this is nothing but just we are creating some account by using this particular page.
So you are just putting some name for that account in
Correct,
that.
name for that account. So there will be two parameter basically. This is a input parameter. Okay, so that is basically tag we'll call it as apex dot input field.
Okay.
Whenever you want to create a text box or a field box, basically we have to use this particular tag. Okay, apex hyphen colon input field value is equal to account name. Okay, so just we will click on preview. So in that case, come to the exact picture. See here.
Yeah.
Okay, so here it opens into one page. Correct. This is nothing but our custom page.
Yes.
Correct. So if you see here, it tagged to this particular account. See here, it tagged to this particular account.
Yes.
Correct. So because we mentioned why, because we mentioned it as standard controller is equal to account. So that's the reason by default it is coming under this particular tab, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see here, so there is another page is there here somewhere. So let me open that our second page. In that case, it won't point to any tab by default.
Yes.
So let me click on second page. If you click on preview, see it is by default it is tagged to home page. Correct?
Yeah.
So why? Because there is no controllers mentioned here. Correct? So that is the reason by default it will point to a home tab, right?
Yeah.
Right? So in our case it is not like that. So by default it is tagging to a accounts tab. Why? Because so the standard controller is nothing but an account.
Yes.
Correct? So standard controller is nothing but an account. That's the reason. So it is pointing to a account tab. Right? So
Right.
if you see here, it is asking for user to enter a value. Correct? So let's say test account 3. Okay, what it will happen if I click on save? So the record will get generated, right? So record is basically created. See here?
Yes.
Correct? So if you closely observe here, there is no insert logic we have written it. Correct? So
Yes.
even though we haven't written any account class, if you see, if you go to class, there is no class named account.
So that is internally handled. So
Correct. So that's internally handled. So we have mentioned the standard controller. Okay. Yeah. So what is the use of standard controller is nothing but so we can inherit that particular behavior.
Yes.
This business logic. So we can inherit that particular business logic into this particular page. We can save that particular thing. If you want to delete some record, basically we can click on delete and data will
Yes. Yes.
delete it. So for this, so no need of separately writing the business logic. Okay,
Yes.
everything it will handled by a standard controller.
Yes.
Okay, so now so we'll discuss about this particular area. Okay, what is nothing but a page block? What is nothing but a page block? Okay, so page block. So page block, so basically which is used for creating the block kind of design. Okay, it is basically creating block kind of design. If you see here, this is a one block, right?
Yeah.
Entire thing is a block, right?
Yeah.
So how to create that? If you go to any one of the standard page, let's say I will go to account. Okay, I will go to account and see here. If you see this, these are nothing but one blocks actually. Correct? These are nothing but one blocks. Entire
Yes.
things are nothing but one blocks. This is a standard functionality. How to achieve the same while writing our own custom page? For that, basically, we have to use this particular component. Okay, so we have to use this particular component, apex colon page block. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and what is nothing but a title? Same thing. Title is nothing but is a attribute. Again, it is a attribute. If you go to page block, if you go to page block, okay, an area of a page that use styling similar to appearance of the Salesforce detail page. Okay, so this is nothing but basically a for designing purpose, like a appearance. It looks like same as the Salesforce detail page. Okay,
Yes.
what is nothing but a title actually? What is nothing but a title? If you see here, something they mentioned here, recent accounts, right? This is
Yes.
nothing but a title. Okay, for giving these kind of titles, so basically we have to go for
Title attribute.
title attribute.
Yeah.
Okay, title edit account is for. Okay, so what is nothing but these things actually? These things are nothing but if you want to substitute, okay, any dynamic value. Basically, this is actually like expression. So we have to use for setting the dynamic values.
Okay.
Okay, let's say what is the flower bracket? We always have to write a flower bracket whenever you want to set some value for the controller, or if you want to display some value to the end user.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, so basically we have to use this particular syntax.
Okay.
Okay, you got it right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, why this is actually they use with dollar user. Okay, if you go to user object or profile object, these are nothing but a standard object. Okay,
Yes.
okay, these are nothing but a standard object, so which will be available globally, so no need of querying this data required actually. Okay,
Okay.
whenever application is logged in, okay, in that case, so these parameters are automatically loaded. Okay, you got it right?
Yeah, yeah.
Only like system related thing like user profiles, information about these things are loaded into these particular things. Okay, so by using dollar symbol, so we can directly get those values. Okay,
Okay.
so by using dollar symbol, basically we can directly get those particular symbols. Okay,
Okay.
clear? This clear, right? Page block section.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so forget about this one actually. This one we'll discuss later. What is a Apex page block message? Okay, so what is nothing but a page block buttons actually? Okay, so what is nothing but a page block buttons? So
So,
whenever you want to create some button, let's say if you go to
yes.
here, so this is a button, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how to create this particular button actually? So if you want to create that kind of buttons, so basically we have to use a command button.
Okay.
Okay, so command button is the one option to create a button in the page.
Okay.
Okay, what is nothing but value save? This is nothing but a label which you are saving, showing here. Save.
Okay.
Okay, it is nothing but a label. Okay, so what action should happen? Let's say if I make it, this button, it should. If I click on the save button, basically it should save a record, right?
Yes.
Correct. How it will happen actually? So for that, so we have to map some method. Okay, we have to map some method, right? Because business logic it will be written in method, correct?
Yes.
So we have to write some method somewhere, and we have to refer that particular method in these particular pages.
Okay.
Okay, so for that basically we are using action attribute. Action is equal to save. Okay,
Okay.
what is this save actually? Save is a method which is present in this particular controller, standard controller.
Yes.
Okay, save is a method actually, so which is present in the account standard controller.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
clear? So now we have created a page block and we have created a button. So now what we are doing, so we are creating some section. Section is nothing but different places. See here, this is nothing but a one section and this is nothing but a second section. right? So section means, let's say if I open a particular account, okay, so if you click on any account, okay, so these are nothing but different sections, right? So this is one section, this is another section, these are nothing but different sections actually, correct? So how to populate that particular section? So for populating that particular sections, basically we have to use a page block section. Okay, clear? Okay, so that is done. So what is that page block section? So if you see this particular component, you're getting it right?
Yeah.
So if you see this particular section, see here, a section of data within the Apex page block comes similar to a section in a standard Salesforce page layout. Okay, so component has one or more columns, each of which span 2 cells. Okay, so it means that section is nothing but it looks something like this. So whenever I open the account, so it is basically having 2 tabs by default. Okay, see if you open this one, this is nothing but a section, right? These are nothing but a sections. So there is a 2 tabs, see a 2 columns. One is account owner, account name, and another this side, rating, phone, fax, website, ticker symbol, and all, right? So that is basically a section. Okay, so if you want to create same this kind of design, basically we have to go for a Apex page block section. Okay, so that is only for creating a section. Okay, so if you go to component reference, okay, so we can give the title also. Okay, we can give the title also. Let me create another section so that you'll get idea. Okay, so let's say what other parameters it's having.
Say account.
Yeah, account number. Let's say account number. Okay, so page section, so we can give a title something like this. Okay, so other details. Okay. Details. Okay, so let me save this. You see this one, see here. Okay, so it is something it will looks like this. Okay, so these are the different sections. Okay, clear? So yeah, account name and account number. If you observe here, account name and account number, these are nothing but labels, right? Correct? So we haven't mentioned here. If you see here, we haven't mentioned here. Correct? So it is populated automatically. Why? Because so we are using input field. Okay, so whenever there is a 2 type, okay, one is nothing but a input field and one is another nothing but a input text. Okay, input field and input text. So whenever you are using a input field, the label of that particular field will be automatically populated in VF page. Okay, so the label of that particular field will be automatically populated. Why? Because it is a input field, or same for output field also. Okay, input field is basically for accepting the user values, right? Output fields are basically for displaying or rendering the output values to the customer who requested that particular page. Okay, so whenever you are using input field or input output field, so basically these labels will be automatically generated. Okay, and also these particular validations, if suppose any validation rules written in for this particular field, okay, that is also automatically has been applied over here. Okay, and also see, if you see this one, this is a required field, right? Okay, so this is also automatically populated here. Okay, so these are some advantages. Okay, so got it right? Okay, so okay, so there is another one important thing is that is called columns. Okay, what is nothing but a column? So whenever we are giving a column, by default it will be 2. Okay, column means it will display like one by one, like, okay, sometimes you are forcibly strict into only single side, only single column. In that case, so basically we can set this particular column attribute. Let's say column is equal to 1, or column equal to 2, or column equal to 3. In that case, all the fields are displaying in 3 particular sections. Okay, you say, so I will add one more field. Okay, okay, so let's say I will put side. Okay, so, and another thing I will say description. Okay, so if you say here, rating, okay, so rating, and let's say website. Okay, so I want to display these 3 fields one by one in a single column. Okay, in that case what we have to mention is nothing but, so in this section, so there is a one attribute called columns, right? So there is a one attribute called columns. Here you mention as a 1. Okay, so here I want to show all these columns in a particular three sections, 3 columns. So in that case you mention column equal to 3, and see what it will happen. You see here. Okay, so this is the difference, correct?
So if you want to say one by side column.
Yeah, column, correct. So in this case, so I have mentioned column is equal to 3. So that's the reason it is displayed 3 fields in one line, correct?
Yeah.
If you observe one, so here I have mentioned the column is equal to 1, correct? So that is the reason it has displayed only one column in a line, particular line.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the thing. Sometimes the customer will ask like that, so I want to display all these things here, there. So in that case, so basically we have to use a columns attribute. Okay, so in that case, so we have to use a column attributes. Clear, right? Any question?
No.
Okay, so this is about a simple page creation. Okay, simple page creation and how to invoke a standard controller logic.
Yes.
How to invoke a standard controller logic. So this is how Salesforce pages are used to design a page. Okay, so same thing we can use page block sections. Okay, so page block, what else is there? So if you go here, okay, so we talked about page block section, page block buttons, page block sections we described, right? So later class we will discuss a page block section, item and block table also. Okay, so section, item and block table we'll discuss. Okay, so this is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is nothing but the how to use the standard controller. Okay, so for using standard control, basically we are using standard control is equal to account. If you see here, so it looks like this. Okay, sometimes customer they will ask like, so they don't want to see all this header footer. So in that case, so basically we have to put that one, sidebar is equal to false, correct? And like header, show header, correct? So show header, so show header is equal to false. So in that case, so basically it will remove the all those extra things like sidebars and headers. Okay, so this is how we can design the page. Okay, clear, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first example how to invoke the standard controller. Okay, so if you remember, so we discussed about the extensions, right? Extensions.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you want to write some custom logic, So whenever you want to write some custom logic to the standard controller, so in that case, so basically we have to go for extensions. Okay, so in that case we have to mention standard controller is equal to account and extension is equal to some blah blah blah, some control name. So in that way the extensions will be useful. Okay, we'll discuss that one.
Okay.
So now, so we will move into a how to use the how to write a logic. So here we didn't write anything, right? So we have used directly a standard controller logic, correct? So now we'll discuss about how to write our own logic in our own controller.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so let me create some you understood, right, all these things? Any doubt?
Yes.
Any doubt here? No, right? Input value.
Yeah.
Okay, so here what it will happen, whenever say value is equal to this particular syntax, so the value which you entered is automatically added to this particular field.
Yes.
Okay, when you click on save, it will create a object of the account and it is going to save it in database. Okay, so now we will write our own controller and our own business logic inside that. Okay, so what we will do is
So custom controller means you will create an Apex class, right?
correct. So I will create one Apex class. Okay, so now our thing is nothing but we are just writing one simple class. Okay, so writing one simple controller class, so which it will do some small calculation. Okay, so it is a simple class, so which will do some small calculation.
So basically a calculator.
Okay. So what this is a method, so public class calculator. Okay, so this method is having 4 methods. One is nothing but addition, one is nothing but a subtraction, one is nothing but a multiplication, one is nothing but a division.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are basically we will call it as properties. Okay, these are basically we will call it as a properties. Okay, why properties are required? If you see in our last example, so we mentioned it as account.name, right here.
Yes.
Okay, these are nothing but a property. Whenever you want to get some data from the page, or whenever you want to display some data to a page, so basically we can't write a variable and we can't use that variable over there. Okay, so we have to declare, it is a kind of variable only, but we have to declare it in this manner actually.
Okay.
Public integer num1 get comma set. Okay, so what is nothing but a get and set? So get is nothing but basically if you want to retrieve some data from this one, so see here, if you say num1 is we are retrieving, right? So in that case, so get it will help us internally. Okay, whenever it is a set, so set is nothing but so for adding value to this particular variable. Okay, where we are adding the value, let's say we are adding the value in the user post page, right?
Yeah.
So or else if you take this particular variable, so where we are setting the value, so here we are setting the value, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, this method it is invoked internally.
Okay.
This is basically we will call it as a property.
So what is actually a difference between a property and a variable?
See, whenever we are using variables, okay, whenever we are using a variable, that variable we can refer it within the class.
Yes.
Okay, within the class, not in the pages. Okay, so if you want to use some variables, okay, which is part of a Apex class, or if you want to, as simple as like, so if you want to send some data to a controller, or if you want to receive some data from the controller, basically we have to declare the variable like this. Okay, so if you are declaring like this, then only we can able to retrieve it. Okay, this concept we will call it as an encapsulation. Okay, this concept we will call encapsulation. Why? Because so we are not exposing the business logic of returning the values of this particular variable, right? So he can get the values by just mentioning num1 or num2.
Yes.
Okay, if you want to set some values also, we are not exposing any methods for him. So just use num2, automatically it is going to set it there, right? So this is basically we will call it as an encapsulation. So this is only used whenever you want to send some data to a page, or whenever you want to retrieve some data, or whenever you want to send some data to a controller. Okay, like especially input fields,
Okay.
correct, user prompts.
Mhm.
So in that case, so basically we have to use a properties.
Okay.
Okay,
So variable will not work in that case.
correct.
Okay.
So if you are using variable, we can't refer it there in the that particular page. Okay, I will show you that how to use what kind of errors we are throwing it up. Okay,
Okay.
so click on this particular thing. Okay, click on this particular thing, new, correct. So here what we have to do, so here we have to mention controller. Previously it is a standard controller, right? So now we have to mention only controller. Why? Because it is our controller, correct. It is a custom controller, so we are mentioning only controller. Okay, so we are mentioning only controller.
Mhm. Yeah.
So once controller is ready, so basically what we have to do is nothing but, so we have to create a page block,
Yes.
correct. So why page block is required is nothing but just giving a some kind of design thing, correct.
Yeah. So
So
basically a page, user entry page, you can say.
correct, yes. Okay, so page block. Okay,
Mhm.
so once page block is done, so basically we can mention a page block section to give some design. This is just for UI looks. Okay,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
just for UI look and feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so page block section.
Mhm.
I will just copy paste thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, you can do at one go only. You can copy paste. That's a very simple code.
No,
So
no,
that.
that is correct. But yeah, but we'll going start going. We'll slowly we'll go.
Yeah. Okay.
After
Okay.
that, we can copy paste.
Mhm.
Okay, so hold on. Give me a minute. I'm getting
Yeah.
a
Yes.
call. Hello. Hello. Okay, so page block section.
Mhm.
Okay, so once your page block section is done, so
Mhm.
basically, so we want to give two input parameters user to enter, right? So one
Yes.
should be num1 and one should be another num2.
Okay.
So basically, so we have to use some tag called apex form. Okay,
Okay.
so we have to use a form called apex form. Why apex form is nothing but, so this is nothing but some kind of parameter we are sending to a controller, right?
Okay.
Correct. So whenever we are sending some parameters to controller, basically it should be within a form. Form is nothing but something looks like this. This is nothing but a one kind of form, right?
Yes.
Correct. So what and all data we are writing it inside that particular form tag, that data is going to transfer to a controller, or that set of data is going to transfer, so in that particular HTTP protocol. Okay, data. Okay, what and all things we are putting in apex form, right? That data will be very secured. Why?
Okay.
Because so it is having some important information. So in that case, the HTTP protocol, so it will basically transfer that data in very encrypted format.
Okay.
Okay, so because of that reason, so we have to mention that particular form tag whenever we are writing some input field or output text, so we have to mention it in apex form.
Okay.
Okay, so once that is done, so basically input text, so we are using for you know
Giving the
allowing,
labels.
yeah, so user to enter some two particular data.
Okay.
Okay, so now it is showing the two particular input box. Okay,
Yes. Mhm.
so once that is done, so basically, so what we have to do is nothing but, so we need a button, right?
Yes. For
Yeah,
addition, subtraction, division, and
yeah.
multiplication. Okay.
For
So you are
each,
writing that two
correct,
buttons.
for each operation, so we need a button actually. For
Yes.
that, so we have to create a button. How to create a button? So we can create a button by using
Command
apex
button.
dot command button. Okay,
Yeah.
value is nothing but a label. In button, some label is coming, right? That is nothing but a value. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, action is nothing but we are mapping this particular button to some of the method in our controller, right?
Yes.
If you click on addition button, basically it should add it, it should make a sum of those two numbers and return back to this particular page, right?
So
For
basically,
that,
if I click on that add button, it will call your addition method in the controller, right?
correct, exactly. It will call the addition method in the controller and it will come back here and it will substitute it up, right? So if
Okay.
you save this particular page,
Have to give the name.
okay, so if you save this particular page and if you see a preview,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it something looks like this. Okay, something looks like this. So number 2, number addition, subtraction, division, correct?
Yeah.
So now we have created a input things actually. Input parameter we have created num1 and num2. Correct?
Yeah.
So where is the output item? There is no output items here, right?
Yes.
For creating a output item, so we have to write output text. Okay?
Out.
So
Okay.
we have to write a output text.
So basically, whenever you want to show an output on the same page, you will use output text. Instead of
Correct.
standard controller, you will use output field.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is nothing but a output text, value is equal to added value. So what is nothing but a this one? This is basically a label. Okay, so this is basically a label.
Yes.
So let me save this particular data, and if you refresh the same page again, so now it is showing the output section. Let's say I will put 12 comma 2 and I will click on addition. The result will be showed here as a 14.
Okay.
Okay, let's say 12 comma 2 subtraction, so the result is populating here as a 10. Same thing, division.
Basically, it is calling those four methods which you have written in the controller.
Correct. Okay, so 24. So this is how, so it will go to controller and it will come back. Okay, how this output value is rendered? Why? Because so by using this particular value, added value.
Okay.
If you go to our controller, what is nothing but added value? Added value is one of the property, right? Added value is one of the property, correct?
Yes.
Okay, how this value is set actually? So the value is the one of the operations performed in any one of the business logic, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division.
Yes.
Correct? So this is how values are populated in output field, output text.
Okay.
Okay, so what will happen? Let's say if I change this particular thing to 1. Okay, click on
So it will throw an error.
okay, unknown property. It is saying unknown property added value 1. Okay,
Yeah.
so if there is no property, let's say I will make the same thing as a variable. Okay, I will make this particular as a variable.
Okay.
See, still it is error. Why? Because variables we can't use as a part of pages, so we can use only the properties in Apex pages.
Okay.
So properties are it is like a what you call variables, but which is a part of view state. View state is nothing but what are the data we are sending to a controller and what the data we are receiving from the controller. This is basically we will call it as a view state.
Okay.
Okay, so this clear, right?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so let's say remove it up. Let's say what it will happen. So if I change the class name or controller name to this one,
So it will
Apex class name does not exist.
exist. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that it will show. So in that case, so basically the class name should be same as this class name. Okay, and the properties also it should be same as this particular properties.
Yeah.
Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so this is nothing but a simple business logic which we can handle it in our controller, custom controller. Okay, so whenever we are using a custom controller, make sure we have to use an attribute called controller, not standard controller.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is the one example. Clear, right? Any question?
No. Clear.
Okay, so this is the one particular example actually. So I want to show a number of records. Okay, so I want to show a number of records in my particular page. How to show that number of records? So number of records is nothing but if you click on accounts. Okay, if you click on account, so if you see here new to this week, if you go here, so here it is showing n number of records, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, how to display those things actually? For that, so basically for showing or displaying a multiple records in a web page, so basically there will be a three type of things, like three type of component which is present. So that is one is nothing but a page block table. Okay, page block table.
Okay.
And second thing is nothing but a data table. Okay, data table. And third thing is nothing but data table. And one more thing is nothing but what is that? Page block table, data table. One more is there here. I think repeat, I guess. Okay.
Apex repeat tag.
Yeah, repeat tag. Okay,
Yeah.
so page block table, data table, and repeat tag. Okay, so apex colon repeat tag. So these are the three different component, so which we are using for displaying a multiple data, like multiple rows of data in a particular page. Okay, multiple rows of data in a particular page. So we'll quickly like create one controller. Okay, so quickly we'll create one controller. So let's say this is a simple controller. What it will do, so within for loop, so it is going to
Records are from that object and display on the VF page.
correct, correct. So what it will do, hold on, let me create this particular thing. Okay, so this is simple controller. Okay, so this is a method. Okay, what it will do, so some for loop, so user will enter some value, let's say 10 in this for loop. So it is reiterating 10 records, and it will putting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 into 10 in this particular list.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is sending back to a VF page. Okay, if you observe here, so previously we are sending only a single values to a page, right? Now if you see here, so we are using list to send back a values to a page. Okay, so how to iterate the list, or how to display that lists in VA page, that is basically by using page block table or data table.
Okay.
Okay, for that reason, so we are using page block table or data table.
Okay.
So how to create that particular page block table or data table is nothing but, if you see here, till here everything is same. I am entering some data.
Yes.
Okay, let's say some prompt. Let's say user will enter 110. Okay, this is a command button. This is same thing, submit button.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you see this particular section, so this is nothing but something different.
Yes.
Okay, why? Because so if you see here, value tag holds the same as that particular list name.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So value tag is nothing but a list name. If you see here, so this is list name, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all the list is available here. How to iterate that particular list actually?
Yes.
So for iterating that list, we have to create one variable here.
Okay.
Okay, that is nothing but a variable. So var tag, it is nothing but a var attribute of the page block table. Okay, mention it any name, any variable name.
Okay.
Okay, use this same variable name in the output text.
Okay.
Okay, apex colon and output text.
Okay.
Apex colon is basically for giving a style. Okay, like column is style. Okay, and use the output text. Value is equal to this one. So in this case, so it is going to display or render the more than one data.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we will do, so I will go and create one page. Clear, right?
Yes. Yes. Clear.
Okay, so go to preview. Okay, let's say I will enter 12 and click on submit. See, it is going to generate these many values, right? Let's say I will 4, I will submit, it is going to show these
Okay.
values. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is why these page block tables are used. Okay, so page block tables are used so for loading the number of or displaying the number of records in the UI page.
Okay.
So now quickly we will modify our code to display the accounts instead of I. Okay, quickly we will modify code to display the accounts instead of I.
Yeah. So what you will do is public list account.
Correct. So public list account. Okay, so the list will hold the accounts. Okay.
Yes.
So instead of making for loop, okay, instead of making for loop, so we'll query the data and send it back to list. Correct. So what we'll do, so this is our list. Okay,
So you write
select,
ID and fetch the records.
correct. So select ID comma name from account, correct. So limit equal to
5.
limit, let's say we'll put it as 5. Okay, so we'll put it as limit is 5, or we can say like this also. So what happens, my value, right? So we can say this is nothing but a substitution of the dynamic values. Okay, so substitution of the dynamic values. Okay, so this is nothing but what is saying. Okay, so we'll remove this limit, some syntax issue. Select ID comma name from account.
So just for now we put the static value.
Yeah.
See later.
Okay, so we'll click on save. It is not saved.
First line colon.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I think it should work.
Now it will work.
Okay, so now we have modified the controller to fetch the account details, right?
Yes.
So accordingly we have to change the VA page also, correct? So in VA page previously it was coming as a list as a integer. Integer means it is a primitive data type, correct?
Yes.
So now it is coming as a what you call yes object, correct? It is coming as a object, correct? So
Yes.
in that case what we have to do here, we have to mention a field name.
Okay.
Correct, we have to mention a field name, not like a directly variable name. Previously it's a primitive data type, so we are directly mentioning the variable name, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Variable name. So now because we are sending back to a back as a date object, so basically we have to mention field like this.
Okay.
Okay, so ID is done, so put it as a name. Okay, save this particular record page and click on preview. Okay, click on 12, submit it. See here, correct? So it is going to show all these things. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how page block tables are used.
Okay.
So this is why page block tables are used. Okay, so second thing is nothing but
Data.
okay, second thing is nothing but a data table.
Okay.
Okay, so what is nothing but a data table? The difference between the page block table and data table is nothing but, so by default page block table so it will take the Salesforce CSS. Okay, CSS things. So by default it will take the Salesforce CSS. Okay, but data table. Okay, so data table basically what it will do is nothing but it won't take any Salesforce CSS. Okay, so it will display the data in a plain format. Okay,
So if you want styling and all, you have to do your custom.
yes. So we have to write our own custom CSS file like for putting color or alignment.
Okay.
Field. For that we have to write a custom CSS and we have to put it there.
Okay.
So instead of page block table, I will put it as a data table.
And the way data table displays the data in table format only, or it will display in a different way? Data table.
I will show you. See here. So it will display in the table format only. You see here, this is table format, correct?
Yeah.
So but this is a one column, this is a second column. But thing is nothing but it is showing, it will display in the plain format.
Yes.
Plain, because it won't take any CSS from the Salesforce. Okay,
yeah.
that is the thing why data tables are using. So whenever you want to show it in your own format, like if you want to give a colorful things, and or like jQuery things or something, like different kind of UI set. Okay, so basically in that case, so basically we can go for a data table.
Okay.
Correct. So instead of going with the block table, so basically we can go with the data table.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Okay. So this is the one thing. Okay, all syntax, everything is same as.
Block table only.
Yes, correct. So it will be same as. Okay, so okay, so if you want to display any buttons, if you say some of the times it will display some buttons right here,
Yeah.
delete button. So in that case, so we can use this kind of syntax here. Let's say. Okay, so here you have to mention this particular thing. So before that, so make sure we have to write the same method name with controller also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me click on save. Okay, so click on save of this particular page. Okay, so let's say 12, 13 and submit. See here, this kind of delete button will come.
So if you want to delete a particular recording, and just click on that delete, and it will be clear from here.
Correct, yes, yes. So it will be clear from this
So
particular.
basically, this is a standard delete button of Salesforce only, right?
Yes, no. This is nothing but a custom button, not
That's a
standard.
custom button.
So we have to write a logic in this particular method, to delete that particular thing.
Okay. So if as of now, if you do go ahead and click on delete, it will not delete anything, right?
No,
Because you have not written any
it
logic.
won't delete because there is no logic written in this particular method.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so there we have to write a custom logic to delete that particular thing.
Okay. Okay.
So like that we can add a delete button. So for example, if you see any one of the account here, okay, if you say go like this, so it is showing something, right? See here, delete and edit links.
That is the link.
Yeah, that is a link. So instead of command button, so there is a one more thing called command link.
Yeah.
Okay, if you place it as a command link, so it will become like this. Okay, if you place it as a command button, so then basically it will come as a button.
Okay.
That is a two different thing. Okay, so that is about the data table.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is about the data table. Okay, so whenever we are using a repeat, so where is the repeat exam? Okay, repeat we'll discuss maybe later of the thing.
Okay.
So now we'll talk about what is nothing but output text and what is nothing but output field. Okay, so what is nothing but output text and output field. Okay, so whenever we are using a standard controller, okay, we can directly use it as a output field
Yeah.
or input field. Okay,
Yeah.
why? Because the field which we are referring should be a part of any one of the object.
Yes.
Okay, whenever we are adding that object only, so we have to use a output field or input field. Okay, so whenever we are using a input text or output text, it should be a property of a controller. Okay, it should be a property of a controller. You got it? Hello?
Can you repeat once, please?
See, whenever we are using a output text, okay, so output text, so we can output text value is equal to, we are writing the variable name, right?
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you are using a output text, okay, in that case, so we can use, okay, we can use the s object field name,
Okay.
or controller property.
Okay.
Okay, or okay, or
Yeah.
controller property. we are
Okay.
using output or input text. Okay,
Okay.
whenever we are using output field or input field, in that case we have to use only the S object field name. So if
Okay.
you see here, this is nothing but account, right? Account name, account number we are using for a output field. Okay,
Yeah.
we can't use one of the like number one here.
Okay.
Okay,
Got
number
it.
one here. Why? Because number one is
So
a
you,
property of the controller. Correct. So it
yeah,
is
so you
not a
can't use
field.
property in this case.
Yeah. So it is a field. It is always output field will always accept the some object field, not some like a random property. Okay. So that is actually a major difference between the output field and output text. Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you are like capturing the data values, okay, other than object is a field, so basically we can go for a output text. Okay,
Okay.
the whenever we are using a output text, the label values are not automatically get populated. Okay, that is the one disadvantage. Whenever we are using a output field or input field, the label values are automatically get populated.
Okay.
Okay, so label values are get automatically populated. So this is the difference between output text and input text. Okay, so there is no other differences.
So just to reiterate here, whenever we are using output text and input text, we can use property as well as the S
Field,
object.
field, correct. So hold on. So
Text in-
whenever you using S object field name, the field value, the label it won't display. Okay, we are using
Yeah.
output text account dot name is label won't display.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Because output text by default it won't display. Okay, so we
Yeah.
have to
We have
manually
to
we
use the
have
label
to
also along with it.
correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, correct. So
But in
whenever
case of using output field or input field, it can only take S object fields and label will get populated automatically.
correct, exactly. Yeah. So that is the difference between output field and
Okay.
input field. Okay.
Okay.
So clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the basic things about rendering the page. Okay. So maybe tomorrow class we'll go in deep about how to do some actions. Some Salesforce having some actions. Okay, like JavaScript of actions. Let's say if you click on delete button. Let's say if I click on any. Let me open this guy. If I click on this particular thing, if you click on delete, so it is refreshing the browser, right?
Yes.
Correct? So if you don't want to refresh browser, so in that case, so VA page will give some Ajax functionality. Okay, so not to refresh the browser. Why? Because so let's say I want to delete some portion of the data, so refreshing the page is nothing but reloading all the data, right?
Yes.
In that case, request and response time will be more. Correct. So
Yes.
to avoid that, so basically they are giving some Ajax functionality, so it will repopulate only some set up portion of that particular page. So that thing basically we can achieve it by using actions. So
Okay.
actions component as well. So maybe tomorrow we'll discuss about that. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So I think we'll wrap up the today's session. We'll connect tomorrow morning.
So tomorrow 8 a.m.
Same time.
Yeah. Okay.
8 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Bye.
I'll share my course.